Good evening. And then with tonight's Coach's Corner here at Cascade Sports TV, we have someone who, as far as the Carolinas is concerned, really needs no introduction, but I want to introduce him anyway because that's just being courteous. But he's one of my favorites. He's the owner and CEO of the Carolina Courts here in Charlotte, Concord, Indian Trail area. He is a former Belmont Abbey coach and player. He is a coach, one of one prep, one of the most successful prep school programs here in the Carolinas, and he's also CEO of Lady Attack Basketball here in the Carolinas. He is Anthony George. Anthony, how are you this evening?
It was such a great introduction, so that was phenomenal. I appreciate it.
Gotcha. Well, I won't do it again, man. I'm really honored to have you here. You're one of my favorites. This is a man who I don't let just anyone deal with my children. So I want to preface the interview by going, I'm a little bit biased. This man formerly coached my daughter, who's going on to play Division I basketball. He runs Point Guard U out of Indian Trail, and I can definitely say I know a lot of people claim to be the best trainers in Charlotte. This man, if he's not the best, he's definitely in the top 2 or 3. He's phenomenal and did great things for my daughter Lily. So first and foremost, I get that out the way before I start hitting it with the tough questions. Well, so Anthony, thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us tonight.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
No, I appreciate that. Obviously, those are very kind words, and it's been obviously a pleasure, coaching and training the area, and obviously with your daughter was awesome too. So I appreciate those words, and let's get rocking.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, this is the time where, and with your extensive basketball history, it needs to start from the beginning. I know your dad was instrumental in you picking up a basketball. So we like here at Cascade Sports, we're the home of the student athlete. So take us back to the beginning of where you started, how you fell in love with basketball, and kind of your journey that led you to this point.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Rockaway Beach, Queens, New York City. Had older siblings. They all played sports. I wanted to be my older brother. So, from a young age, I'm the baby. I always try to play up with his friends and compete outside. When I got to join teams, obviously it was super competitive. And I really love basketball. Basketball was my number one love for forever. I was a multi-sport kid all through high school. I was a very good baseball player. I could have played baseball in college, but I wanted to play basketball. I loved it. I fell in love with the game. Like I said, from New York, huge New York Knicks fan, St. John Red Storm fan. My dad and mom, both graduates. They were the Red Men then, but now they're the Red Storm. So we're happy to have Coach Patino in town, and hopefully next year we do a little bit better job, make the tournament, and keep rocking and rolling. But yeah, fell in love with basketball and just loved it. And from a young age, really picked up on the nuances and really wanted to be involved in the game. And I knew at a young age, I knew in high school that I wanted to coach. So it was just, I had to get to that spot, and playing was the closest thing I could do. And I loved it. So was able to fast forward, got recruited to play at Belmont Abbey College, spent 4 years there, had a great career. Loved it, graduated, went home, worked in New York City for the summer, and decided that's not what I wanted to do. And I wanted to coach. So I was given the opportunity to come back and coach at my alma mater. The rest is history. Kind of been down in Charlotte, North Carolina ever since. And truly has been, a wonderful thing for me. Obviously, I met my wife in college. We met the first week of school. She came down here to be a teacher after college. So with me coming back and coaching at Belmont Abbey and working a little bit of Carolina Courts, it just worked great. And, just fell in love with coaching, and I've been doing it ever since.
Man, you've led a charmed life from the outside. It looks like, you're back you went to your alma mater, you got the coach there, you came back, you met your wife week 1, you've got a beautiful family. The only thing going wrong in your life right now is NC State winning those 5 games and knocking your Red Storm out of the NCAA tournament. Other than that, everything is good.
That's right.
And I don't know how you do it, man. I think you might have 24 hours and 25 or 26 hours in your day because you're raising a beautiful family, but you're also heavily involved in one-of-one prep. Tell us a little bit about how it came about, and where year 3 was for you guys, and where you see it going moving forward.
Keith, I missed that last question. I apologize.
No, I was just saying, one of one. Where did the idea come from? Year 3,
Yeah.
you guys had another great year, and where do you see it going moving forward?
Yeah, I appreciate that. We had a phenomenal season. So the idea really came during COVID. Kids weren't in school. I was at a public high school at the time. I was the head coach at Piedmont in Union County, and I loved it there. I really loved coaching. It was great. Before that, I was 7 years on the boys' side at Cuthbertson. I was able to get a head coaching opportunity at Piedmont. I loved it there, but where I saw it going was I was with a lot of kids that wanted to get better. And when the kids weren't allowed to go to school, and there was that, obviously during COVID, during the time where we were, indoors, kids just started showing up, and it started out 3 or 4 kids, ended up being 8 or 10 kids. And my partner, Brian Morris, and I just thought it'd be a really, really good idea to do something like this, because we saw other, obviously, academies across the United States coming up, mostly on the boys' side, but there was some on the girls' side, and we just thought it was a really good opportunity, and we thought we had enough kids that would be interested in this sort of program. It's been a huge success. This will be our 4th year, so we're done with 3 years. Had really successful years, 3 straight years of 20+ win seasons. We've played not only against really great teams in North Carolina, but we've played great teams across the nation. Last year we were able to play the Geico National Champion, Montverde Academy, early on in the season. Our strength of schedule has been hellacious over the first 3 years, which is only getting the girls better and preparing them for what we think is college basketball at the next level. And it's been phenomenal. Where I see it going, Keith, as good as about anybody. The landscape changes every single year. We are doing our very best to stay with those trends, push our athletes to get better. But I would say for me, like I said, I coach college basketball and I coach high school basketball. This is the perfect medium for me. It's a huge schedule. We played over 40 games this year, but it really is perfect for me. I get to help kids get to reach their goals, but also stay competitive. And we play a national schedule, so we get to play some of the very best teams across the country. And this league that we started this year, the National Independent School Athletic Association, with some of the best teams across the country who were in it this year, and it gave us a platform to really perform and compete against the very best in a more, I guess you'd say, organized and environment. So this was year 1 of this league, and the league is going to expand next year. So really, really excited about that too.
And you should be. I mean, between the Hankersons and Jody King, I watched your team, your girls develop this year. And I tell you what, looking at social media today, it looks like you just became a better coach. It looks like you might have picked up a couple of big time players moving forward in Molly Malcolm and Sydney Blackwell. Talk a little bit about those two, where you see them fitting in with your returning players. And again, y'all don't duck smoke, so I'm sure it's going to be an opportunity for them to showcase their talents all across the nation. Talk a little bit about your team for next.
Super excited about the additions of both of those kids. I have trained and known Miley since she's in 3rd grade. To see her maturation as a player and as a kid has been awesome. I'm very excited to finally have the opportunity to be her head coach. And she's going to be a great addition to the program. Sydney Blackwell, in the same kind of breath, she's a Division I commit to UT Martin. Very good shooter. I think super athletic, can, I think, help us out in many aspects. But really excited about both of those kids. They are basketball players. They want to be in the gym. They're gym rats. So it kind of goes with what our motto. If you want to get in the gym, you want to be better, it's a perfect program for that. And those 2 kids, I think, will help us be a better program overall. So we're super excited about the addition of both of them. And I think, moving forward, our league is so competitive. We need to add talent like that to compete. So it's just part of the game. And we're going to continue to do that to make our program as competitive as we possibly can moving forward.
I don't doubt that one bit. And that takes us from your great progress over the 3-year period, 1 of 1, to your old standby, Lady Attack, and some of the great work you've done over the years with the Lady Attack Squad as far as grassroots travel basketball, AAU, some might call it. I personally know you have a heck of a 17U team coming back. I believe led by the Sheehan sisters who play at Lake Norman. Talk to us a little bit about maybe a little bit about your schedule this year, what your team is looking like, and what your expectations are moving forward throughout this spring and summer.
Yeah, so this is the second time I've had the opportunity to coach a 17U team. It's different. The expectations are different. I feel like the game play is different. It's everyone's last ride, so you got to do the very best. We're carrying a small roster, only carrying 8. I want all the girls to play. I want all of them to get developed. I want them all to get in front of the right people. So we intentionally kept a small roster to give those kids those opportunities. Very excited about every single player. We have some new players to the program, but we also have some old reliables. You mentioned Jody King before, who's been with me for several years on the Lady Attack and one side. She's tremendous, great footwork in the paint, much improved defender, but also can now stretch it out, hit long range jump shots. Really great kid. You mentioned the 2 Sheehan sisters, both fit my mold. They want to be in the gym. They work hard. They're basketball kids, good pedigree and winners, right? They've won everywhere they've been. So very, very excited about them returning. And then we got 4 new ones. I got the Hankerson twins. They have had the opportunity to play for me for 1 of 1. They are been great fits, and I think really fit the way I want to play, which is fast, quick decisions, confident in what they're doing, and they're very high IQ kids. So it matches what I like to do as a coach, and very, very excited to have them handling the ball and scoring the basketball for me. We've added a Lauren Farrell, Cox Mill, conference player, all conference player, dog, wants to compete. Another one that can stretch the floor, but also battle down low, double kid. We've added Sophia Zorb. Sophia is another all-conference kid from the GM4. Can stretch the floor, shoot. She's committed to Barry University in Miami. She's comfortable in herself, where her game is. She's only going to help our squad. And we've also added Mary Church. Mary Church is an all-conference kid, Salisbury area.
Mary's a baller. I like that game.
Dog. She's a kid that continues to play hard before the whistle, after. She plays so hard. She's a wonderful kid to have in the program. I think her everything that she brings to us is what we need from a team standpoint. She's very, very coachable, but she's also a kid that could score it. She could defend. She'll go up and guard the other team's best player and not step back down. Just really, got a dog mentality, and we've really loved her addition for us and this team.
Rightfully so, Anthony. I've always admired how your teams are so versatile. I mean, they can beat you with the 3 game, they can beat you with motion, they can pound it inside and whatnot. And those kids that you mentioned, versatility is kind of a thing that I think about when I think about a Jody King who can go play on the wing, or she can go down low and create and get to the foul line. And I think that's a credit to how you coach, because you don't just put your kids in the box. You put them in a position to be as successful as possible. And speaking of being successful, one of the last things I'm going to let you go is I know you're a family guy and you got to put some babies to bed. And we appreciate the time that you've given us tonight. Cassidy Gaddis goes to William & Mary, one of your success stories from Lady Attack, first team all conference, right?
Yep.
Kirsten Lewis Williams goes over to Buffalo, player of the year and whatnot. You and I talked about this off camera a little bit, and I want you to extrapolate as you could talk to some of the low major and mid major programs in the area, and even up and down the East Coast, because you guys play such a big time schedule. Are kids in the hoop state getting overlooked?
Yeah.
Are kids in the hoop state having to go out of state? I mean, my daughter's going to play in Virginia. One of your great players, Delaney Hill, is going to play in New York. How can we start keeping some of these kids here at home? Talk about it, Anthony.
Yeah, I could speak Cassidy is a great example because I had the opportunity to coach for multiple seasons, and I have college coaches to this day legitimately, Keith, call me and say, I apologize, I should have listened to you, you were right about Cassidy. She's just one of those examples. I think you look at the whole landscape of where high school basketball is in North Carolina to where it is across the country on the girls' side. I'm talking about just strictly on the scholastic level. I think we do a really, really good job, of promoting our kids and giving the opportunity to play at a high level. Yeah, I think you're right, Keith. It does. It kind of, you raise some eyebrows on why some of these kids are getting missed on, especially kids that win and that proved it not just at high school, but on the AAU level. So I'm hoping that, over the next several seasons into AAU, when the COVID year is gone and transfer portal calm down, even though if I don't think it's ever going to, but if it does, I think you're going to see a little bit more respect given to these North Carolina kids. And really, it's up to these college coaches. I mean, they're all on 1-year deals too. They have to do what they think is best. And do I agree with all of it? No, but I do understand they have to do their job too, and they got to do it to their best ability. But I do think there are several kids that are playing out of state that, in theory, I think some of these colleges, especially the local ones, have missed on for sure.
Agreed, my friend. Look, we appreciate the time you give us tonight. This is the time of the interview when we usually give you the floor to shout out anything, anybody, or mention anything you want to talk about that you might have missed, because you got a lot going on. So the floor is yours, and I really appreciate you being here with us tonight. Go ahead, Anthony. Tell us anything.
Keith, number one, I want to thank you for having me tonight. It's been a pleasure. Obviously, I love talking hoops with everyone, especially guys that really care about it and want to see it grow on the girls' side. So can you see me or no?
I see your picture, but I hear you at least, so that's good.
All right. So yeah, just very, very excited. Thank you for having me. Want to mention Carolina Courts. Carolina Courts is is very special to me. It is my business, but I think we're helping a ton of kids in the community. And other than that, I think really excited about this AAU season and really excited about my one-on-one program. And I really appreciate you having me, Keith. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Anthony. It is our pleasure. And you are one of the best coaches I know, and you are so giving of your time to kids in the basketball community. And we are thankful to have you not only here in the Carolinas, but with us tonight here on Cascade Sports TV. I thank you. And this has been sponsored. This great interview has been sponsored by City of Fountains Coaches Association, Anthony George, owner of Carolina Courts, CEO of One of One Prep Basketball, Lady Attack Basketball. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Anthony, and good luck this season.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate you, bud.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.